Well, the secret is out. Gen Z isn't the generation of progressives some hoped would save us from a second Trump presidency. On Election Day, GOP nominee Donald Trump won decisively, and many Democrats are left asking what went wrong. A key factor was that voters under 30 didn't show up like they did in 2020. According to the Associated Press, over 4 in 10 young voters supported Trump, up from 1/3 in 2020. While Vice President Kamala Harris still won Gen Z, Republican gains undermine the idea that this generation could deliver a Democratic victory. Harris focused heavily on appealing to young women, but needed to gain ground compared to Biden's performance in 2020. Meanwhile, Trump captured young men, predominantly white and Latino men, by appealing to their economic frustrations and providing a sense of belonging in the right-wing media ecosystem. Many young men feel overlooked by the Democratic Party, perceiving it as disconnected from their economic realities. While Harris leaned into pop culture to appeal to young voters, Trump tapped into hyper-masculine social spaces, like podcasts and YouTube influencers, creating a stark contrast. To counter this, Democrats would need to build an equivalent media presence that resonates with disaffected young men, an effort that will take years. Complicating matters, even young white women shifted rightward this cycle. The Democratic response to the Gaza conflict also alienated many young voters. Harris's refusal to criticize U.S. support for Israel or take a firm stance on the humanitarian crisis frustrated progressives. In Michigan, a state with a significant Arab American population, Harris lost the majority of young voters and saw many turn to third-party candidates like Jill Stein. Dearborn, a city with a large Middle Eastern population, saw over 18% of voters choose Stein. These votes could have been Harris's if the campaign had addressed voter concerns more directly. The consequences of low Gen Z turnout and the rightward shift are significant. This generation includes vulnerable groups, LGBTQ+ individuals, immigrants, and young women, who stand to lose the most under a Trump presidency. While Democrats won the messaging war on social issues in 2020, Republicans dominated the economy this time. Many voters overlooked Trump's controversies, prioritizing their financial anxieties. This election highlights a disconnect between Democratic messaging and young voters' priorities. The party must address these shortcomings and rebuild trust with younger generations to avoid repeating these mistakes.